Episode 15. Don't fuck with my money. Do not fuck with my dog. That's where it's gonna go today. Hey, I'm just gonna be checking in, talking about fitness, intermittent fasting, ketosis. Made some progress, made some gains. So we're just gonna chop it up. Got some other stuff to talk to you guys about. Been to the movies lately. It Too, Hustlers, Scary Stories. Man, I got some reviews for you. Maybe some spoiler alerts, just a heads up. So pay attention. Welcome to the show, episode 15. So happy to be here. Life is so good. Let's party.
One, two, three, four.
Before we get started, I want to let everybody know that this episode is brought to you by God Sent Dog. That's right, God Sent Dog. It's the story of how one dog led a man to sobriety. And that story was written by yours truly, E.R. Hunter. It's available on Amazon and Kindle. It's free on Kindle Unlimited. It's a cathartic work of mine. It's a recent work of mine. And it's something I think can help others that are struggling with alcoholism, drug addiction, loss of a career, failure, low self-esteem, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, it's a great book, and I'm proud of it. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys would check it out. I know Irie, my dog, he'd appreciate it. You probably just heard him shake a tail feather in the background there. And my second book, actually my seminal work, is Chasing God Alcoholically. That is also available, and that's just my take of recovery and early sobriety, and it's got some encouraging quotes, and I just break down, my analysis of what it was like jumping into sobriety at the age of 27. So 2 books available on Amazon, Kindle. Check me out. You can email me at earth@erhunter.live. So that's earth without the A, ERTH at erhunter.live. And shout out to my homies all over the world. Thank you so much for listening in Australia, United Kingdom, Switzerland, India, Ireland, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, China. I really appreciate it. Melbourne, Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland. I'm blown away at the progress that the show is making. So I wouldn't be here without you, and I'm going to keep doing what I do and, just sharing my story, getting some good interviews for you guys, and hopefully, growing the brand, baby. But this is the grind, and I really appreciate this support. Check out the books. Keep listening to the podcast. It's going to be a series of spooky stories. I got a preview coming up for you with an interview with Tony Merkel from the Confessionals podcast at the end of the show. So let's get it one more time again for the rhetorical sake. Episode 15. Count it down for me. Play that motherfucking shit, dog.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hustlers is a movie that I was really looking forward to. So I almost just walked out of the theater about an hour ago, maybe even less, probably, from watching it. I didn't even know it came out, but I remember seeing the previews for it, and I was stoked. It seems like it came together really fast. And spoiler alert, just spoiler alerts. They're going to be spoilers for Hustlers, It Too, and Scary Stories, that Scary Stories movies, because I've seen those recently. So I'm paying to go to the theater. I'm a Hollywood critique, and I've worked in the industry my whole life, so I just think it just comes naturally being critical of these cinematic features. I am not, the most diehard go to Vegas and see a show type person. So I haven't seen Britney, I haven't seen Cher, And unfortunately, I haven't seen J-Lo in concert. But I'm telling you, what I saw tonight is a supreme performance. It's absolutely, she's invigorating. She is invigorating, and her stardom is so well maintained. It's so well balanced, and it brings a light to the character that she's illuminating, but it also, it says a lot about her and the range of her talent. And I think that's just amazing. I mean, damn, that's a body. I mean, we don't even got to say that, but the scene, it was like one of those striptease moments. I wasn't around when striptease dropped, but growing up, you heard about the Demi Moore stripper scenes, things like that, the movie. This was one of those moments. This is going to be a cultural moment for us, me and J-Lo. That's what I mean by us. No, for cinema, and just sexuality and female empowerment for sure. I mean, just to have a classic, it has undertones of Magic Mike, but that's only because Magic Mike is a recent movie and it's about strippers. And so the framing and the staging and the lighting, all that, it seems familiar, but it doesn't get boring. The story really livens it up. So, on the Hunter scale, I'm going to give it a 5.8. I'm going to give it a 5.8 because honestly, I'm not going to go see it again. Not in theaters or anything like that. I might put it on in the background while I'm cooking one day. But, Cardi B, it was great cameo. Lizzo for show. But I don't know. Something is just kind of off about it for me. There were some symbols, how do you say, metaphors that were just overly apparent, and I don't like to be spoon fed as an audience member, even though I know that's if you to serve an international market and to reach the broadest audience possible, you want to make it tasteful but also plain and comprehensible what's going on. However, it just didn't do it for me. The eroticism of it was very short-lived, in my opinion. And I've lived in New York. I mean, that's a New York movie right there. That's NYC all day. So the Cardi B cameo is great, but the audio, I think they should probably try to redo some scenes so that I get, you want to, be true to you, Cardi, of course, always. But for the sake of the movie on an international scale, if I don't speak English as a first language, I will struggle to understand what is happening or what she said, because I couldn't understand her. And the movie's going by so fast, you're into it. And then you start thinking about her accent. And so it's so thick. Don't ever lose you. Be authentic you. A character in a movie, So I guess you just got to be from New York to understand what she said. I guess that's it, I'll leave it at that, because I'm not going to tell somebody to change your accent. If they want you to do you, do you. Or maybe they want to make her accent thicker. I do not know. But I have no idea what that talented artist said during this feature film. But I loved her character. I loved her role. She killed it as well. Lizzo up in there. It was just so of the times, and it was all right. I went with a buddy of mine, and so it was definitely got to the point where it was like, okay, this is a chick flick. And I kind of got from the previews it might be more of like Hustler magazine type thing, but it definitely was a chick flick for sure. The drama aspect of it and the narration how the story's being told, how everything's falling out. Yeah, so that's my review. It's not very in depth, but hopefully it's tangible. I just saw the movie and I needed to blow off some steam, which we'll get around to talking about why and later in the show. Next movie I most recently saw was It 2. Now, I'm not. I mean, I am a fan of Stephen King. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not very much of a fanatic of much of anyone. So I think that's why I've been able to work well with professionals. Like I have a photo with Ewan McGregor, like just on a street corner in New York City. Like I just went up to him, and not overly aggressive. I know how to function with them because I'm not overwhelmed by them. And you get to capture the moment too because I appreciate his artistry. And I mean, oh my gosh, the sequel to The Shining coming up, starring Ewan McGregor, is coming up. So check out my Instagram. Y'all know what it is. Red Eric, Read Eric. So in any case, yeah, It too. That one fucked me up quite a bit just because I like scary movies because I like the ride. It's like going to the carnival for me. And this one, on the Hunter scale, I'm giving it a 10. I'm giving it an absolute 10. And I'm going to say spoiler alert. I'm not going to go too much into the plot because that would just be reiterating what Stephen King has already written. But the dynamics and the social commentary, the comedy, the timing, the character development, everything was so in sync. And I'm talking 10 out of 10, 100%. This is a movie. This is a movie. It doesn't matter if you like scary movies or not. And it's disturbing, man. I mean, the imagery, the graphics, but also the suspense. It was such a ride. And I went with a group of people and I noticed during the movie some weird shit because the group I was with, it was all dudes and one chick. And that's how the crew rolls in It. And then it was one black dude, and I was the one black dude. And spoiler alert, one of the dudes drops out early out of the crew. And one of the dudes dropped out early. Like right when right after the previews when the room got dark, he's like, I gotta work or whatever. Like he punked out. I don't know. But he dipped, and it was just like the movie. It was so weird. But luckily, I got to sit close to my friends because the theater was packed. And since that seat opened up, I had some room next to me. I just said, God, there's an angel sitting right next to me because I'm telling you, I had my eyes closed for half that movie. I was so shook. And it's 3 hours long. So it was started at 9:30. We got out like 12:30, 12:45, chopping it up, saying goodbye. Get home 1:30. Yo, I was up until 4:30 in the morning, and I ain't even open my eyes to see the scary parts like that much. But it still just got me. And that's what I wanted. I got exactly what I wanted. It was a sensory overload, and well done, just well done. The cameo in there is impeccable. It's just. Everyone can complain about the bad ending or something like that, the inside joke. I just thought it's so well written and so socially dynamic and of the times and culturally appropriate. So 10 out of 10. Applause. If you haven't seen it, if you've got a friend to go with, maybe a group of people, a squad, some Goonie up, and go check out It Too in theaters. And then before that, on my birthday, a group of people went with me to see Scary Stories. This movie called Scary Stories, based on a book series. So I sound like an idiot right now talking about a movie I already saw, but don't really know the name of it. But, that one was kind of like, if It Too is a 10 out of 10, then I will give Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the movie, like... 7 even. Nah, 6. I'm gonna give it a 6 even. Like, and a 5. No, 5.9. 5.9. No. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7 because it's got some disturbing images in it. That's what you want from a scary movie as well, right? And I thought the character development was okay. The suspense and the how do you say, like, they didn't spoon feed you the storyline, even though it was based on a book series. The cast was great. The acting was impeccable. Impeccable acting. Kids were great. And it was, they're young kids running around, so it's a challenge. But I was shook. I was a little shook, but I got some sleep that night. I wasn't too worried about that. So, yeah, those are my recent movie reviews. So, if my opinion matters at all, that's what I got to say about them. I've been going to the movies a lot because that's what, you can start doing when you're not a gutter drunk, how I can be if I get too much into my pride and selfishness. So I've been squatting up, and learning what my squad in life, my higher power showing me, revealing to me what my crew, my clique, supposed to look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it's just, you should be able to go to the movies and have a good time and go out to dinner or just chill and hang out and actually Netflix and chill with no ulterior motives. Like, I'm not going to apologize for not producing content every other day for the show because I'm out living life. And that is something to be so grateful. And I have been feeling so grateful. And at first it started out as kind of forcing myself to feel grateful. It was like when you meditate and your mind wanders and you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be like concentrating on my breathing. Like, okay, so like bring it back. But then, okay, forgive yourself. Okay, I love myself, Eric. Like telling myself stuff like that while I meditate. It was kind of like that. So reeling myself back into being grateful when I found myself thinking about complaining or just that compulsive negative thinking, I really have been. Irie wants to get a drink of water right now, so he's gonna hydrate, y'all. Make sure your dog's hydrated. If you don't, they will. That water is out, and it's been out all day, and now he wants to sip it up. You might be able to hear that. You got that, Irie? You good? Okay. But yeah, so just like that, things come up, can part, and just forgive yourself and bring it back, during that meditation. But for me, living in gratitude, I just have to constantly remind myself to be grateful because I want to be happy. I want to be happy. So I am forcing myself to practice what is practiced by those who are happy. This is proven that people that express gratitude or feel grateful, that are grateful, are happy. And why would I waste any more time I have left in this life being upset and concerned about things that I may or may not be able to change, but just simply don't contribute to the well-being and feeling of wellness in my core, in my body, in my mind, and in my spirit. So I'm really genuinely trying to be grateful, and it's working. I will say it's working. I feel lighter, but I also feel lighter because of fitness and diet and working out a little bit more, being a lot more consistent with that stuff. And to be honest, it's not just a little bit more, it's been a lot more. Like, actually, I reverted back to my old methodology of what actually worked. And it's a venture. It's a new era. But, I'm back into sobriety. And for me, like, it just comes full circle. If I'm going to stop drinking, I'm going to stop eating carbs. I'm going to stop eating like a pig, eating out all the time. I'm going to start meal prepping. And I've been doing that. I got the Instagram one man with one pan. And, a lot of those dishes were just straight up gluttonous binge. I would say, okay, I'm going to save this. It's going to last me for 2 or 3 days. But really, it lasts me just that day. That whole, 4 serving course I would make and then show off on Instagram like I'm some chef. But I am a chef. I am a damn good chef. I will say that. What I mean is dietitian. I'm not a damn good dietitian. But it's just been a challenging couple of weeks because I'm challenging myself. And it's made life very, very interesting. It's funny the doors that open up, when you start cleaning yourself up. But as far as working out, I wanted to offer maybe some advice, or not advice, but just go through what I do for my workout. Because I know I'm on my way to success. I know I'm on my way. And by success, I mean to where I'm happy with my meat sack. I'm happy with this vessel. It's modeled, it's crafted, it's molded and sculpted. It's like the David, to Michael. And that is never really going to be so. But let me get to like at least 75%, 80%. And I just hope I keep endeavoring to be better and to be more longevous. That's the goal. I want to live a long, healthy life. But, don't get me wrong. I got my vices. Yeah, I mean, I vape, but I just use Fix. And I've been using Fix for the last 2 years. And these Fix vapes, they almost remind you of Juuls. And they came out in response, I think, to a shortage of Juuls. But they hit a lot smoother to me, a lot more of that cloud that you want. But also the nicotine, the product is just, it's much better to me. And they're affordable. It's so worth it. I hate Juuls. I can't stand them. I've never enjoyed the utility of it. Like if that was a app, like the user interface of it, I fucking hate them. But I will use this Juul I have on reserve should I run out of Fix pods, because sometimes I can't find the flavors. Yeah, like we need to up the Fix game, like in America. No, I'm playing. I don't care. So anyway, what did I do the other day? Trying to kind of really focus on upper body. So I don't usually mess with dumbbells too much because that's the most crowded part of the gym. But it's not about it being crowded. Like, it doesn't make me nervous or anything. I think I suffer from a little social anxiety. So, but I haven't been avoiding it lately. So I've been pursuing it. And I swallowed my pride and started with low weights. I'm talking about 5 pound, 10 pound, doing flies, seated flies to failure 3 times. I got that out of the Arnold Schwarzenegger book about bodybuilding. A friend of mine loaned me. Well, he wasn't a friend. He was one of the attendees or guidance counselors or something at the rehab I was at. So good guy, great guy. Shout out to him. So yeah, I started out low weight, but after 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks now, I've been adding and kind of doing about 70% of my max on upper body. Just 1 day a week. I did that yesterday. So for like shoulders, like the cable pull downs, I usually just do like 110. I did it with 120 pounds. And I know that's like not a lot of, like, it's not big weight. Like, I'm not trying to do big weight. I'm trying to do low weight, high repetition. That's me. But I'm realizing getting those days where I blast and just go for my gusto and actually do lower reps with heavier weights, it's proving beneficial. And, people, my tribe, are starting to notice. They're saying I'm leaning out, and that's great. These clothes that I've bought over this summer, these size 36 pants and shorts are too big now. So I'm so grateful that it's actually working and that the consistency is rendering positive results, because that doesn't always happen so fast. And the challenge now is to keep going, because, like I said, I have been going to the movies, and what do people want to do? Go out to eat, before or after the movie or whatever, burn off some time, but also, chill together and have a meal. So, but what I've been doing, like Five Guys, lettuce wrap, the Habit Grill, lettuce wrap, just doing lettuce wraps. And usually by then it's my first meal of the day, because I have gone back to working part-time at a cafe, because I love cooking. I love serving food to people. I love making people happy through the art of the culinary, of the cuisine, of l'art. I don't know, but the culinary arts. Like my family knows, like I'm the family chef. That's what it is. Hey guys, it's me again. Just to remind you that this was brought to you by God Sent Dog. My book, Chasing God, alcoholically, on Amazon and Kindle. You can get it for free if you got unlimited. erhunter.live. That's erhunter.live. Hit me up, Earth, ERTH, at erhunter.live. I'd love to hear from you. Let's chop it up. Let's get back to the show. Yeah, I had to take a little vape break there. But before I get into the part-time job stuff and talking about do not fuck with my money, I want to break down, some of the stuff I do for my workout, because I want to finish that. My buddy told me, I kind of go off on tangents, so I'm working on that, y'all. So thank you. I appreciate the feedback. I can accept criticism now. I'm growing up like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, curls have been a big part of it. It's funny because tonight at dinner, my buddy was pointing out, he was giving me some pointers. We just trade workout tips. He was telling me a new workout he's doing on a weekly basis, and it's in the intention of developing long biceps. So he was like you have long biceps like me. And I didn't even realize long biceps were a thing. So there are certain exercises that can, help guys like me utilize a full range of motion or a different movement with typical equipment, like a straight bar that you usually do chest press with, but using that for curls. So that's what he was explaining. I do curls, extensions, and then contractions. So the ones that force you to push it down, and then the ones that force you to pull it up. And, you could do a little crank and hold, a little press and hold, or just to go to failure. That's what I do sometimes. Or I just, do 12 reps, maybe 3 or 4 sets of that. Superset, always superset with something. Not true. Depending on where I'm at in my workout. Because I will tell you this, I start probably 50% of my workouts on the Stairmaster, strictly because I'm trying to lose weight, but I want to tone good muscle mass, and I know that working out the legs releases a hormone that helps with muscle growth. So skipping leg day is no bueno, even if you are cranking up the iron, pressing heavy weight on the upper body. That upper body is not going to get the full benefit of what your body can do and produce without the legs, circulating. And I got to look that up, what's that? I need a little assistant that can Google. But in the meantime, I've always try to utilize the kettlebell, and I do weird things with the kettlebell. Like I'll do goblet squats with it because I want to protect my back. And then I even grab 2 of them, like the 30-pound ones, and because I don't want to do deadlifts on the machines at the gym I go to, because they're not the free straight bars. It's on a machine. So I barely ever do squats there, but I actually got in some squats, low weight, high rep, and even half ranges of the full motion. So going from the bottom to the low, like halfway up and back down 7 times, and then from the top and halfway down 7 times, and then doing 7 full ones. So you're doing 21 squats, and you're not doing heavy weight, but you can feel the burn, baby. Set 3, ooh. Set 4, I didn't even do the 4th set because I was so mad at myself. But yeah, the kettlebells, I've been doing deadlifts with those, and I don't know, I should probably, if you got some feedback for that, to me, it helps me keep my back straight, my spine in good alignment. I can face forward, and I just wonder if I'm actually utilizing, how with the bar, you roll it up. It's right there, right in front of your shin, and then it kind of may graze your thigh when you come to the full standing position. So, I don't know. Questions? Maybe I'll get answers. earth@erhunter.live. I'd love to hear from people. Supersets always, and leg day. I've been doing like two isolated areas 2 days in a row, if that makes sense. So rather than going on upper body, arms, and then lower body on the next day, I've actually been hitting arms 2 days in a row and then legs 2 days in a row. And I know it sounds a little crazy, but I want to blast this fat, and it's working. I lost, around 3.4 pounds this week, but I probably gained that back tonight because my buddy wanted to cheer me up, or help me not be ticked off from what went down with a little work situation today. Got me all riled up. So we was at Cheesecake Factory, and I don't go to Cheesecake Factory unless it's an occasion. Like, it's gotta be my birthday, somebody's birthday, Mother's Day. I was like, you just want to go to Cheesecake Factory for the hell of it before this movie? All right, bet. And you know what? I did good. I got my regular jick, the chicken Madeira. That chicken Madeira. That is the dish right there. Mashed potatoes and asparagus. The way I can't. That chicken is so good. And yes, child. Black boy up here talking about chicken. But it's from the Cheesecake Factory. Get off my back. It's right up top above the chicken Bellagio. So don't even fuck with me. I traded out the potatoes for the green beans, and since I was paying $20 for that plate, best believe I ate every one of them green beans, because I tend to get a little anemic, and I need the iron. So that with the asparagus, and that good chicken Madeira. And so the other day I did the workout with burpees. I try to superset if I'm doing legs, like on the machine, the leg press with lunges. And it's just things like that. And I just hope I stay consistent with it, because I really want to get these results. Because, like I said, this dude on Instagram, he's interested in he's interested in my progress and my development. And I think becoming physically in shape has a lot to do with a mental transformation and a spiritual transformation. So I think it says a lot about a person that can practice self-discipline, and I want to be that. That's the man I see myself being, and it could be a lot worse. So that's why I'm getting off my ass and I'm doing this, because I don't have as much weight to lose as maybe some of my listeners or just people that I see, my family members. So I have it easy. And I just want to be a light. I want to be encouragement to anyone. It's just, you got to start somewhere. And have a little bit a day, and it really helps. It helps a lot. It helps me mentally, as you can see. I mean, this podcast wouldn't exist have I not been working out all week, and I like feeling sore, and it just makes me it lets me know I did something esteemable. But I also got some me time. I can throw on a podcast, or I could, like, I was on a run the other day, and I just turned off my music. Like, I felt like my intuition, my soul, my higher power, the universe wanted me to just be quiet and run with my dog and stop listening to podcasts, and I did. And I guess I just needed that clear space to think about. I don't even know what I thought about, and maybe that's why. and we ran a mile, and it's pretty hot out here where I'm at, so I don't like to do it too much, but I had to get the dog out, and I still had some energy left after a workout. And that's another secret. After weightlifting, if I can do a mile or two run, I know that is a key, vital to really getting the most out of the time when I'm sweaty and already in my gym clothes. And yeah, I'm worked, but maybe right before I get in the car when I'm leaving the gym, if there's a way to run around the roads there, or when I get home, I grab the dog and go on a run around the neighborhood, then jump in the pool. It's just been nice. It's been really nice, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful, and the encouragement I'm getting from my tribe, my friends, and people that I met on Instagram. It's inspiring. And so there is goodness in the world, and I'm here to announce that. And I look forward to my next upcoming podcast. There's going to be some podcasts like this, but I'll be more so delving into a specific topic. And I will tell you it has to do with, things like Buddha and Jesus, spiritualism and meditation. And I really am developing this message, and I want to present it before God gives it to somebody else to present, because that would really set me off. But at the end of the day, can't nobody do it like you. They could be imitated, but it can't be duplicated type thing. Y'all know what it is. So do you at the end of the day. And that is definitely one thing I got from Tony Merkel's interview. I can't wait to show you all that. I'm thinking about starting maybe a subscription service on the website, because it was so much information that he downloaded to me, and I needed to hear it. And I knew he was kind of making it personal, but it's because he sees greatness in me. And so he was telling me the truth straight up. And it's kind of the stuff you don't want to hear. And so I'm not just going to put out a whole episode of our full 2.5 hour conversation. And I mean, I really almost screwed that interview up. I'm not going to lie. My drinking almost got in the way of a really big opportunity. And I really hope I haven't blown it with Tony, because he said he would let me promote this next book I'm working on. That's a bit of a mystery thriller. It's going to be a scary book on his show. But, I think my behavior, the whole process, he's very professional. He's a big podcast. He's got the rundown, and he can roll with the punches. And the pressure got to me, and I started drinking before the interview that day, and I hadn't drank for 2 weeks. And so, yeah, but now, I'm back. I got like a week under my belt again, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with me. The interview got done, but I know I wasn't the best interviewer, journalist, friend, even mentee that I could have been. And that's unfortunate, but that's the price you pay when you're a drunk. So, hopefully all will be forgiven, or all is forgiven. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear from him. But once the book is done, it'll be out there, and it'll be released on Halloween. I'm setting that, and I'm speaking that into existence right now in the name of Jesus. And I believe that. I hope you do too, because it is going to be this one I think is going to fly off the shelves. This one's going to be this is the movie maker right here. So stay tuned for that. In any case, I've just noticed, maybe because I've been intermittent fasting, and I just mentioned ketosis at the beginning of the episode because I finally got to use my pea strips that I had bought like during this year, and being on intermittent fasting and ketosis off and on, but finally getting back to it after 3 or 4 months, and seeing day after day my ketone levels rise from through Monday through Thursday. It's been a great feeling, and I know I'm doing it right. For me, working the part-time job helps me get into a regular routine, getting out with the dog, getting as much sunlight as I can during in the morning when I'm out with him, and then either going to work out or going into work for a few hours, make some quick cash, make some money. And, this is America. And, because even the guy that's sitting on millions is definitely thinking about how he can make more, believe me. So that is the case, and that's where I'm at. So I'm hustling. But, I mentioned don't fuck with my money. And I don't know, I've just tended to have a shorter fuse with people. I don't know if it's a shorter fuse, though, because I'm literally having conscious thought before I interact, and I'm thinking before I speak, and I'm meaning what I say. But it's very direct, and it affects me. So I'm standing up for myself, and I'm not avoiding confrontation. And I don't really care how it's affecting the other people. I mean, I do in a sense of how is our relationship going to continue after this? Are you going to be able to get over it? Because I'm already over it, but you needed to know the truth. Now, if it comes out as in an emotional state, I try my best to contain myself. But when I'm passionate about something like my money and I'm getting, shafted out of tips, the biggest order of the day, a catering order that we all work on, we all share every order. You don't just give those tips to the one person you're beefing with because you're trying to show some favoritism. No, we split every tip up in this bitch. And like I said, I'm the only black guy here, and you got the Mexican guy here, and y'all two white guys gonna split the tip between each other. I'm not saying white people are racist, but I had to address this. I had to address this at work because it hurts. It hurts when I'm asked. It's inadvertently asking me to look the other way and to ignore this and to take it, and I just won't. I will not be shafted out of money that I'm sitting up there earning because you guys want to have some social favoritism. That's not my concern. Do whatever you want, but do not fuck with my money. That is the bottom line. It's capitalism. It's strictly business. So that was that. And when I get angry like that and I'm passionate, I get shaky, and I'm not gonna get violent, but I will decimate someone with my words. I mean, to the point where my friends usually come to me and be like, you shouldn't have said that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why is it that when I rebuttal off of what they started, I'm the one getting reprimanded? But I cut deep, and, that's just is what it is. I mean, I'll never forget my argument in advocacy class. I won the final argument, and I really hadn't even studied. And I mean, I pulled something out that I didn't even know I had realized. But because I found a flaw in the girl's argument I was going against, it was something new, and it was like, boom. And she couldn't get around it. She just couldn't get around it. I can't remember what we were arguing about. But, yeah. And so, but prior to this whole money situation, I just noticed at the dog park, there's etiquette at dog parks. And I love Orange County because I don't know if it's the social class or the space, or just living by the beach and having respect for the environment and other people's space and their experience, and just being a Californian. But people are interacting with their dogs, and they're playing with them, and they're paying attention to them. It's not a social gathering. Where I'm at, this guy wasn't even being social. He was just chilling on a bench, and his dog wants to play fetch. Unfortunately, I'm already playing fetch with my dog. Now, I'm all for playing fetch with his dog, but it's just that Irie is a rescue, and we have come a very, very long way just to go to the dog park. So, I mean, a lot of Caesar Milan dog whisperer episodes, a lot of note taking, a lot of research, and I get compliments all the time about how well behaved he is, but he still suffers from immense anxiety, jealousy, territory issues, because I don't know what his first 3 years were like. And so people at the dog park that are there on the regular know that we keep our distance, but it's not that he's vicious. It'll never bite, but he will get annoyed and agitated, and he has a deep bark, even though he's a medium-sized dog. In any case, I told this gentleman, I said, hey, is this your dog? And he just turns around, doesn't get up from the bench. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I think, he wants to play fetch. And he's like, yeah, when he sees one of those checker sticks, because I got the bright orange, checker stick, because you can't be at the dog park where there's like dog shit everywhere, picking up, throwing the tennis ball with your hands after the dog drooled on it. So you get a checker stick. It's just part of being a dog owner. Here, if you want some life tips at the end of the episode, being a dog owner, get a damn Chuck It from Walmart. They're like $6. And tennis balls. Like, teach your dog how to play fetch. I mean, they love you for it. You wear them out. A tired pit bull is a good pit bull. That's what I want my dog to be. And it's true. When Irie doesn't get to the park, he starts acting out. And it's nobody's fault but my own. So even though I'm out living life, working, going to the movies, hanging out with people, getting to tribes, getting sober again, I got to make sure I'm paying attention to my baby, because he is my little support system in this little family unit of ours. And he's a big part of it. And he deserves, to get that exercise and to get that exhilaration, because his life is a lot shorter than mine, hopefully. Praying to God. In any case, that's the don't fuck with my money-ish. That's the don't fuck with my dog-ish. Because pretty much with the dog situation, I let him know, I said, your dog is looking for attention, and you need to give it to him, because my dog doesn't play well with other dogs this close to me when we're playing fetch. Now, had I not brought the chucker in and we weren't playing fetch, whatever, but he was like, well, it's a dog park. And I said, yeah, it's a dog park, not a daycare. It is not a daycare. You don't just walk in and ignore your dog. You need to be watching your dog, see where they crap, pick up their crap, make sure they're not attacking other dogs, make sure they're socializing properly, respecting boundaries. But maybe that's a metaphor for life. And I think it taught me a lot. And it's like, at what point do you stand up for yourself? Because at first I did it at the dog park, and it was 2 days in a row I had to address this guy about his fucking dog. And his dog is the sweetest dog in the world. His dog brings its own tennis ball. I mean, I did play fetch with his dog, but I mean, I guess after that he got embarrassed, and he'd always like leaving early, because I'm like, eventually Irie just is like, okay, fuck it, this dog is gonna play with us, even though he tries to kind of fend him off. But it's animals have always had a natural inclination towards me. I hope, like nice, friendly. I've never been attacked or seen a shark surfing. I've been camping in tropical areas, and I haven't seen any vicious animals or snakes, thank God. And I've seen some big ass spiders though in Fiji, baby. Some beautiful fish, big fish. Octopus in Italy. Yeah, some weird animals. In any case, things are good. Things are good. I'm just trying to stay in gratitude and not be arrogant. So not letting my happiness result in arrogance and pride to where I'm being brash or short fused with other people. Because I've been apologizing a lot since returning to work. I will say that. And I've been dealing with things just head on. And if there's a beef between people or drama, I go directly to that person. I just chop it up. And that is not like me, but I really don't want to drink anymore. And so I just I can't hold on to other people's shit. And I can't be dwelling compulsively on negative thoughts. And I don't know if anybody else relates out there, but that is a challenge for me at 30 years old. But, when things are okay and just letting them be, making them more than okay by being proactive, not getting caught up in the bullshit. And it's just hard when the bullshit affects your pocketbook or your dog, if that makes sense. In any case, I had to put something out there, baby. We had to chop it up. Episode 15. I'm so happy to do this. And before we go anywhere at all, if you want, if you can, if you're in a safe space, maybe you've been driving, if you could pull over, or you're parked, or you're at the gym or something, or you just did some yoga or gone on a walk. I don't know. You wouldn't do yoga and listen to me. Maybe you would. Just take a minute and take some deep breaths, counting to 5 on the inhale and 5 on the exhale with me. How about that? Because you're certainly worth it. And this breath of life that we have, it's invaluable, irreplaceable, and it's just an unlimited renewable resource that simply, I think, transfers. And I don't know. What are we talking about? Let's just kind of meditate here for a second. Here we go. All right. Well, hopefully that helped you as much as it's helped me. Because sometimes I just don't stop and smell the roses. But you are definitely worth every precious moment this life has to offer. If you're hurting, if you're struggling, talk to someone. Maybe you don't know them, like a professional, or someone you do know and you trust. But we're in this together, and you're not alone. You can email me if you want. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're in pain, because I've been there. Kind of still there, and I'm all right with that because I know I'm not alone, and that's really the best antidote. So stay tuned. Episode 15, The Rhetorical Sake. I love you. Stay encouraged. God bless you. Pray if you can. If you want to try something new, a little crazy, see if it works. Pray. Pray. Ciao bello.
I looked into paranormal stuff, nothing. Like, I was just a dude trying to get through life. And
Right.
I'm in my apartment, and I would always sit in the same chair in my living room to watch TV. And the way the room was set up was like, when I was sitting in the chair, I could actually look down the hallway, just like on an angle that I couldn't see directly down the hallway, but I could see a good distance down the hallway before my visual got cut off from the wall. And in the hallway, we had pictures hanging in the hallway of my wife's movie posters. Like, she did a lot of theater acting and stuff, and so she would put her theater posters, frame them, and put them in the hallway. And so I would consistently, all the time, and I don't think my wife has ever seen anything, but for me, it was all the time. I'd be sitting in the chair watching TV, and out of my peripheral, I could see shadow walking from my bedroom into the bathroom, and I would see the reflection in the glass of the pictures in the hallway.
So there you have it. Tony Merkel. He's going to be on the next episode of The Rhetorical Sake, my podcast. Can you believe this? The Confessionals podcast, host, founder, producer that has started this trend in the paranormal, this leader in the podcast sector. I interviewed him. So tune in on the next episode. And we're calling the series Str8 Shk. Str8 Shk. All these episodes leading up to Halloween that I'm going to be telling little ghost stories about my paranormal encounters, I'm dubbing them the Str8 Shk series. That's STR, the number 8, and then SHK, like you're texting someone. Because I don't know about you, but what I've experienced had me straight shook. That's the bottom line. Show us some love on Patreon. I am on Patreon at patreon.com/ERHunter. That's patreon.com/ERHunter. I'm going to keep bringing you solid interviews. Let's do this thing. Show some love. Love you guys. Peace.
Love you.